See, guys, I'm not racist. There's a no racism zone. The black Green Lantern is actually my favorite Green Lantern. He's a guy named John Stewart. And he was the Green Lantern when I was like, when I first started reading comics in the 80s. He was the guy who had the mantle. What really got me into him was a prestige format limited series called Cosmic Odyssey. It didn't paint him in the best light, but it made me like the character, I guess just because the complexity of the situation he was in, what he was going through, and I don't know, it just stuck with me. And from there on in, like, he was like my Green Lantern. He went on to be the Green Lantern for a lot of kids when they featured him in the DC Justice League cartoon. He was the Green Lantern. And I think when they did that movie years ago, the fucking dumbest shit was putting Cyborg in the Justice League. And that was something done in the comics first because they were anticipating a film adaptation. And Green Lantern, they'd already done a movie with, the Ryan Reynolds one, and it was a disaster. I thought it was just mid. It wasn't as offensive to me. Fucking lighter's offending me right now. They were clearly trying to get an Iron Man thing going as far as the tone and everything. But when that bombed, Green Lantern became persona non grata, and all media interpretations too. Like when he'd show up in like ancillary media, cartoon stuff like DC Lego or something like that, he would always be a joke, like a meme. Like he was the one that they didn't invite to the Fortress of Solitude party. It's like it became like the public's rejection of that film really fucked him as a character for a long time. So by the time they were doing the Justice League movie, they were like, well, we can't have Green Lantern in this for sure, but we need to have a representation character. So they went with Cyborg, which was stupid because he's a Teen Titans character. People know him from that, and they associate him with them. And he works well in the context of that team. Because in the cartoon of Justice League, they just had the Black Green Lantern, John Stewart. But they couldn't use him because, you know, Green Lantern was bad then for a while. It's fucking stupid. So that's how we got fucking Cyborg fucking jammed into everything. Because they couldn't use the Black Green Lantern. It's a little DC Comics history for you to start off the day at 1:30 in the afternoon. This has been the war between the Kangs and the town has been pretty quiet. The only thing recently is this love, and they kind of left that there. It's kind of cool. I think this is fine. It says love, and with a peace sign, they haven't taken that off. It's good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, since we had all the Amish move in here, since we moved them in during COVID, there's been an explosion in graffiti in the area and now the town realizes Waikiki is their bread and butter for the entire state. This pays for every island. They can't have it looking like a shit house, you know? They just can't do it. And people from certain places and certain environments don't feel comfortable unless stuff's kind of shitty. So they try to shit it up with graffiti, but they don't want that here. So what they're doing is they paint over it. And there are certain points in the neighborhood where they've just gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like gangs come along. And the graffiti's not good. Like we have like graffiti artists here. Did a video once about them when they were working on a building a couple streets down. Talked to one of the artists who was doing this mural. So it's settled science. I mean, there's some good graffiti artists here, but this is like street, inner city kind of graffiti, like just bullshit, badly spelled words, crown, I'm the king. No, I'm the king. No, I'm the king. If everybody's the king, fucking nobody's the king. But that place back there, has been one of the front lines of the graffiti war. Again, a problem we never had here. Never had it. But it's huge in the certain culture of people that they repopulated the island with when they got rid of all the Pacific Islanders. You know, I've gone over it many times, and we're not going to go down that road today. But it seems like there's been a lull in the war over there, in the fight over there. Usually, they'd screw it up, they'd graffiti it up, town would come by, paint it. They'd come back, graffiti it up, town come by, paint it. So maybe it's a truce now between them, or maybe they realize it's just that there's no use. They're going to have this stuff covered up, because all over here, there are all different points where they graffiti stuff, and it gets painted over almost immediately, much to their chagrin, I'm assuming. Now the reason is it's a psychological thing that has to do with it's like a broken window theory adjacent kind of concept, where you feel more comfortable in certain environments, so you try to make the environment match how you feel as a person. It's really sad, actually, if you follow it through. Now, they don't realize this. It takes sort of a level of sophistication to understand the psychological implications of this that some of these guys don't have and can't have, you know, because of the way their thought centers work. So they're not, you know, but it's being done subconsciously. It's just like when homeless people, whenever they find a spot that no one's moving them from, and they sleep there a couple of nights, they start bringing trash there. They'll start going around and just bringing bags of trash, piles of trash. And psychologically, what that is it's like, oh, this area is shitty, so it's fine for me to be here. Yeah, I've watched this happen many times. Over by my house, that back road that leads to the store I'm always going to the jungle, the thing I call the jungle. That road back there, constantly homeless people come along, try to set up camp. Unless they get rid of them right away, they'll start literally bringing piles of garbage around. At one point, they'll let them stay there for so long that, and what it does is when people see that they're not being bothered there, they come and stay there too. So you end up with a whole bunch of people sleeping there. It looked like a flea market at one point before they finally cracked down and threw everybody out. Just, you know, people would set all this stuff up. I don't understand why homeless people travel with so much shit. Like, if I found myself homeless, which is a fucking possibility for anybody in this current day and age, you know, not everyone on the street is a chronic drug user or fucked up everything, or, you know, became persona non grata in their neighborhood or whatever. Some people are just like, they get screwed over by a job. They can't make rent one day, you know, and they get thrown out in the street. That's a huge portion of the homeless population in America. Just regular Joe anybody. Because the nature of how expensive things are and how impossible it is to get out from under the pile once you get a pile on you. It's fucking impossible. I don't know. The math doesn't work. It doesn't work out. You know, you get kicked out of your house because you're in debt. Now you're on the street, right? And you try to figure out how to make enough money to survive and then pay off the debt so you can get back into some kind of housing that you don't have to have first, months, and last to get back into. It's impossible. Like the math doesn't work. You can't do it. So, you know, there's a lot of that. But if I was to suddenly find myself in a situation, I would put things in a backpack, like I see a lot of guys do, and just carry around a backpack. A couple pairs of shorts, a couple of tank tops that I could wash at the beach, at the showers, travel light, you know, some toiletries, if I could sleep under a tree or whatever. These guys travel with so much shit. Like, if you were to fucking minus my Batman collection, which is just, I would give that away on a fucking drop of the hat. I don't care. You know, when I moved here, I gave it all away that I had on the mainland. I don't really, it's cool to have, I like having it around, but it's not necessary to my life. If you pared us down to our life necessities, me and Nia, Like when I first moved here, the first couple of years I wasn't collecting. So I'm like, I just gave up. I just gave away my whole collection of years. So I'm like, I don't want to buy all this. So I'm going to buy it all again. But new stuff would come out inevitably, and I'd be like, I'm just going to get this one thing to put in the house. And then, I got this one. The other two are there. I'm just going to get this line of figures. Okay, cool. Oh, more came out from that line? Okay. Wow, these are cool too. And they're on clearance? I can get all these Transformers, $5 each. So that's how it happens. That's how it happens. There's a sickness there. There's an illness. There's one of my many different mental illnesses. Yeah, I would call it dragoning, because everywhere I lived, since I was a kid, basically, almost every apartment I was in, I would have a room for my collection. Sometimes because of financial situations, I would then have to make my collection room my bedroom room. But if we had an extra room, which was almost always, things are a lot cheaper there than they are here, which is kind of amazing, because Massachusetts, where I lived, is considered really expensive. New Hampshire's better. We had a great setup in New Hampshire. But anyway, I'd always have a room, but I would have so much stuff that I wasn't really sure what I had. And I call it dragoning because it was like dragons would sleep on these big giant piles of gold, or they'd collect all these valuables like in a Hobbit or something. They didn't even know what they had, but it was some kind of thing. They just liked knowing it was there, even if they never looked at it. That's how certain collectors get, and that's how I got for a while. I was like, I didn't even know what I had, but I just like sitting on it. And as a collector my entire life, I tell you, you rarely look at your shit. Like the things I got today, I got a couple things today, because ever since I stopped doing 7-0 last week, I've suddenly had like a lot of extra cash laying around. So to me, it's like, I shouldn't be blowing it in toys, but it's a treat. It's like a reward. Like, all right, you dropped that. This month you can kind of go a little crazy, but not too crazy. So I've been just picking up a lot of stuff. And I mean, I'll go home now. I'll take it out of the box. I'll look at it and go, oh, that's so awesome. Oh, look at this, Nia comes home, I'll put it in her face, and she'll be like, oh, that's nice. And then I put it in a box or wherever it's going to be, and I'll never fucking look at that goddamn thing again. Sorry, God, I didn't mean to say it. But, yeah, that's just how it is, It's not good. There's a lot of things that aren't good. But, I guess it's better than, I don't know, it's better than being on 7-0, I guess. But, or any kind of drug for that matter. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's not much different than the graffiti people. You want to build an environment around you that makes you feel comfortable. So I'm just as bad as them in a way, except I'm not doing it. My collecting doesn't hurt other people or make my neighborhood look like shit. So it's a little bit different. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for checking on me. I appreciate it. The van is always looming. So it's nice you guys to stop by and make sure I'm still walking the streets. And by walking the streets, I mean selling gay tricks at the train station. Until next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.